Okay, you guys, so while most of you know that June was not a great month for me as far as my resale business goes, I do still have 10 sales to share with you that hit my $40 and over threshold for the month of June. So let's get right into what sold. Hey guys, it's me, Kay, and you've arrived at my weird little corner of the internet. Welcome. If you're new here, I'm a part-time reseller, mostly on eBay and Poshmark. I do sell locally at an antique mall and occasionally on Mercari and Depop, and this is a what sold video. So to save myself some time when I do monthly recaps, I usually do $40 sales and up, because it's easier for me and it's also a good price point in my opinion to see what's selling for a decent amount. And yeah, June was not great for me. I think I spent the first week only reselling, and then things happened with my daughter, and obviously she is forever and always my #1 priority, so I definitely slacked on my business and it shows. So the month of June was not awesome. I was still able to make a decent amount of profit thanks to some of these sales that I'm about to share with you. So it wasn't, super terrible for me. I still crossed over $1,000 in profit, which is always my goal. But yeah, coupled with summer slowdown, not the best. But let's get into it. I'm gonna move over so that you guys can see the listings as I pop them up on the screen in the editing process. So if you've never seen one of my what sold videos before, basically you're gonna be seeing the listings on the screen. Like I mentioned, I'll try to tell you what I listed the item for, if the offer came from a buyer or if it was an offer that I sent out, how long it had been listed and how long I paid. And we'll go over one platform at a time. I will do what sold for $40 and over, then we'll go through the numbers for the entire platform for the month, and we'll do the same for the other platform, and then at the end we'll do a comparison month to month. In this case, I definitely did not increase my sales from May to June, but like I said, there were a lot of other factors, and this is the #1 reason that I am glad that at this point in time I am just a part-time reseller, because if I relied on this money I would not be able to pay all of my bills. But this is just our fun money to travel and do the fun things that we like to do. So without further ado, let's get started with Poshmark first. So I have 4 on Poshmark to share with you versus 11 in May, so you can definitely see the decline there. The first 2 items are shoes. The main 3 things that always hit these recaps are shoes, jeans, and activewear. And that's the majority of what I sell at this price point. So the first pair of shoes that we're going to talk about is the Nike SB Dunk High Pro. So they were a high top sneaker. This was called the Warmth package. I picked these up for $6.99. I don't too often pick up Nikes, only if I know that they're valuable, because there's just so much saturation with Nike shoes. So unless they look a little bit different, or if they're a style that I know is sought after, like a Metcon or a Nike Air Max, especially so with the 270s, because that's a really popular one, I often leave most of the Nikes I find behind, but I decided to pick these up for $6.99. They took 9 months to sell and they sold for $45. I'm pretty sure this was a 40% off offer that I sent out every Thursday, that I've been doing for a couple months now. I just did it today because today is a Thursday that I'm filming this, and probably the same day it's gonna go up. Don't come for me. And I already made 1 sale off of that. So next is another pair of Nikes. These are the LeBron XVI, which is 16, I think, in Roman numerals. I'm King. These were a kid size. These were the grade school or GS. So if you see GS on a Nike listing, it means it's the grade school version. So they're slightly different than the same shoe in the adult sizes, if you didn't know. So these were a size 6 youth. They took 8 months to sell. I did pay up quite a bit for these. I paid $11.15, and this was an offer from the buyer for $55. I think I listed them around 90, but because they'd been sitting for 8 months, I was happy to move them out at the 55. Plus, June was rough for me, so I was pretty much taking any and all offers just so I can move stuff and have some cash flow. Next is a pair of jeans. These are a bins find for $2, fairly recent, within the last, I think, 2 to 3 months. These were Levi's 501 Original Straight Black. I pick up 3 styles from Levi's. I pick up the 501s, the wedgies, and what's the other? Rib cage. I couldn't remember. Wedgies, 501s, rib cage. I don't pick up the Mile High anymore. I did just sell, I think, 2 pairs in the last month or so. But yeah, I don't really pick up any other sizes unless maybe they're like a plus size and in good condition or new with tags. Otherwise, it's just those 3. So again, I found these at the bins. My cost of goods was $2. They sold for $50. This was a full price sale. They did take 1.5 months to sell. So yeah, pretty recent bins find. And yeah, I'm always happy to sell bins items for $50. And the last Poshmark sale that was $40 or more was a vintage beater lac snap plaid blanket. I had originally listed this at $60. Someone came in the comments on Poshmark and asked me if I would reduce it to $40. And I did so. I happened to do it on a Sunday, which is, at least for a while now, is almost always closet clear out or CCO on Poshmark, which means that if you reduce the price by a certain amount, I think it has to be at least 10%, Poshmark will send the buyer a discounted shipping rate of $3.99, and they pay for it. So you don't have to pay for the discounted shipping on Poshmark, which is really nice. And I know a lot of people out there like Becky Park, etc., utilize CCO. I don't, because it's too much work for me, but I know that a lot of people out there can make really good coin on closet clear out days by sending comments to people who like items and then reducing prices. I just don't have, like I said, the time or energy to devote to that. But because they had commented and asked for me to reduce it, I did, and they purchased it. It took 1.5 years for this to sell. I paid $4.79, so it was a decent sale. $4.79 into $40, I almost 10x'd my money. But yeah, 1.5 years for that to sit around, and it's not exactly a small item because it's a blanket. But I do like picking up vintage beater lac. I've sold a couple of them before. I usually style them on this couch that I'm sitting on for the photos. I don't think I did for this one. This one I think I just did on my floor, if I remember correctly in thinking about the photo. So yeah, for those 4 items specifically, my gross sales were $190. My average selling price, or ASP, was $47.50. Cost of goods for all 4 was $24.93, making my average cost of goods $6.23. If you're new here, I like to be $5-ish. Under is better, of course, which is why I've been making it a point to go to the bins at least once a month. So overall, on the Poshmark platform, this includes all the items I sold, which this month I had a lot that were just under the $40 mark, like $36, $38. I think I had 1 or 2 $39 sales. So that did help me overall. So total gross sales on Poshmark in the month of June, $939 versus $1,780 in May. That's a big jump. Average selling price, ASP, $23.48 versus $27.38, so just went down about $4. Number of items sold in June was 40 versus 65 in May. Total cost of goods for those 40 items sold was $174.78 versus $342.60 in May. That makes sense since I sold 25 less items. My average cost of goods was $4.37, right under that $5 mark. And in May, it was $5.27, so not too bad there either. My total profit just on the Poshmark platform for June, $556.66 versus May, $1,022.88. And I definitely felt all of that almost $500 drop. Let's move over to eBay. So on eBay, I had 6. May, I had 9, so I only went down about 3. And here we go on the 6 for eBay. The first one I have is I think it's called Zarina. This was on my BOLO list that I wanted to manifest for 2023. Happy to say I found it twice at the same store. This is the only one of the 2 that has so far sold. These are a pair of brown, they're called the Deacon corduroy pants. I listed these at $60. I paid $5.99 for them. This was the second item from this brand that I had found. The first one is the one that hasn't sold. It took 5 months to sell. So I sourced it, if it's selling in June, I sourced it around January. And they sold for $40. Next was a daughter sale. She decided to give up her iPad. So we listed it and she got half of the profits, but I'm still gonna talk about it because it hit that mark, of course. It was the Apple iPad 7th generation, 32 gigabyte. This is the 10.2 inch screen size. My cost of goods, I'm saying, is $0 because it was a present for her. I'm pretty sure it was a Christmas present in like 2020, somewhere around there. And it's sold for $135 in hours. We listed it at $150 because that's kind of around where the comps were, but she was happy to take a quick sale, and like I said, she gets half of those profits, and I'm pretty sure she's already spent them on games for her Nintendo 3DS. So happy to help her make some money back. We just have an agreement that if she takes anything from her toys or clothing and I sell it, she will get half. It's just something I do to keep her motivated to not clutter up her room with stuff that she doesn't use. Next is a pair of Saint Laurent pants. I recently found 2 pairs of these and I haven't listed the other one. It's in my pile of stuff to get listed, but you know, it's been rough around here for the last month and a half. So they're still sitting, but I listed the first pair and this pair had a flaw. The inside of the crotch, I wasn't sure if it was like a manufacturer defect or if someone tried to repair it and they just did a really nice job with the repair. I don't know, I just made sure that I disclosed it in the listing, and I listed them at $60 because they had a flaw. Otherwise I probably could have got closer to that $100 mark. So maybe with that other pair you'll see them in a future video and they'll get more than this, but they sold in hours as well for $55. That was an offer from me to a watcher and they accepted. I paid $4.54, I think, because the thrift store saw the crotch area and assumed that they were damaged, flawed, so they reduced the price because I paid a little bit more for the other pair. But yeah, Saint Laurent jeans, good find. Hope I can find more of those. Next was a brand that I love to find, but I've only found it, I think this is the second time. The first time was a jacket that I wore to Seattle on a vacation and then sold it while I was on vacation, so I just shipped it as soon as I got back. But this is Fial Raven. I probably butchered that, but really great outdoor gear brand. More expensive than Patagonia, I would say, and definitely more sought after. If you've ever seen those Kanken backpacks, I'll put a screenshot here of what they look like. That's that brand, and those are very sought after as well, and they have like a million different colors. But anyway, this was a navy high coast flannel shirt. This was a full price sale. I paid $6.23 for it, and it sold for $42.99, so $43, and that took a few months to sell. Next is an item from a ThredUp box. This came in the ThredUp men's designer box that I unboxed semi-recently on this channel. I paid $4.63 per item in that box. The box normally costs $140, but I used a bunch of credits and got it for, I think, under $20. So my cost of goods for the 4 items in that box was pretty good. These actually ended up being a women's pair of jeans, but whatever, they still sold. I still listed them. They're from Acne Studios. I had never found that brand before. This was the first time. I mean, I guess technically I didn't find it because it was sent to me in a ThredUp rescue box, but whatever. It was the first time trying to sell this brand. These were called the Milk Slim Fit jeans. I listed them at $80. Again, my cost of goods was $4.63 and they sold for $50. And the last sale on eBay we're going to talk about today was a Texas Instruments TI-84 Plus calculator. I shared this pretty recently and it sold fast, and I'm happy about that. But then actually it double sold on Poshmark because I forgot to remove it, and this sale is from last month, so, and it just double sold like within the last week, so my bad. But I listed this, I think, at 50 or 60. I have it written down as 60, but I thought I had listed it as only 50. I honestly can't remember. But in any case, it sold for $47 and I paid $1.75. I probably should have kept this because my daughter is about to go into freshman year, so she's starting high school and she's probably gonna need one of these. So I guess I have to go back to the thrifts and see if I can find another one that's kind of similar and not sell that one and give it to her to use. So for those 6 eBay sales, my gross sales, and this does not include anything that buyers pay for shipping. I don't offer free shipping. Everything is calculated. So gross sales, $369.99. Granted, almost half of that was from the iPad, making my ASP $61.66. Total cost of goods for those 6 items was $23.14, making my average cost of goods $3.85. So let's compare June to May for just the eBay platform. Total gross sales, $868.78 versus May, $1,070.79. Not as big of a jump on the eBay platform this month because of the iPad. And I had a lot, well, I had 2 more sales on eBay that hit this threshold, but I had, you know, a lot of other decent sales that just went right under on eBay as well. So the impact wasn't as bad. ASP 2803, it went up actually from 2231 in May. Love to see that. Total number of items sold did go down 17 items. So I sold 31 in June versus 48 in May, which is great to see actually that I sold less items, but my ASP was higher. I love that correlation when that happens, which isn't often for me. Total cost of goods for those 31 items I sold is $150.88 versus $197.75 in May. Average cost of goods, $4.87. Love to see that. Versus May, $4.12. It did go up a little bit between May to June, but still under that $5 mark I love to see. And the total profit is fairly close month to month, $613.61 versus $664.68 in May. So Poshmark definitely is the platform that took the hit for me in the month of June. Okay, so let's talk about both platforms combined. From June to May, it's going to be all the same types of numbers: the gross sales, ASP, number of items sold, cost of goods, average cost of goods, and the profit. So total gross sales in June, $1,807.78 versus May, $2,850.79. I went down over $1,000 in gross sales. Not good. ASP, $25.46 in June versus May, $25.22. So it went up 24 cents in the month of June. That's fine by me. Number of items sold in June, 71 versus 113 in May. I like to see the higher numbers because that means I'm moving more crap out of my house, and that's what I want. I want to see the items flying out. I don't care so much if I'm selling a bunch of items and, you know, the sales amount isn't as high, because I have way too much and I need to get rid of it. So for the time being and the foreseeable future, I'm happier if more items are leaving and maybe not making as much money. And I know that's contrary to what most of you out there like to see, but that's just what will make me happy at this point. Total cost of goods sold, $325.66 in June versus May, $540.35. But the average cost of goods for everything sold in June is $458 versus May, $478. So 20 cents less in June. And that's the number that I really pay attention to, more so than the total cost of goods that I sold that month, because that really shows you the overall picture a little bit better. And total profit for the month of June, $1,170.27, which would not pay all of my bills or even close for the month, versus May, $1,687.56. So that's what, like roughly a $500 decline from May to June. So Not the best month, but I'm still happy that I made over $1,000 in profit. I am still really happy that I sold 71 items and moved them from my house and or my shed out to their buyers, and that's what I want to see. So hopefully July is a little better. It's not too bad right now. Actually, it's what, the 20th, I think. Again, this is probably the same day this video is going up, but it's the 20th and I'm just about almost at my total profit for the month of June. So it's still a little bit slow going, but it's summer. This happens to me every summer, and there's always so much to do in the summer because I live in New England and we don't get too many months of nice weather. So there's always stuff that I want to be doing on the weekends, or taking my daughter to go do, or we're traveling. And so, you know, my business falls to the wayside because it's never my priority. So that's just the way things go, and that's totally fine. I accept this. Like I said, it's just our fun money, and I am just grateful for any extra money that we have incoming. So with that said, that's everything for this video. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I hope that these sales helped you to maybe find some new brands or see how fast some things move. For me, your mileage may vary. It's always a little bit touch and go. I have local friends that don't sell the same type of things for me. It's just the way that it goes. But thank you so much. If you enjoyed it at any point, please give it a big thumbs up. It really helps me out here on YouTube to know what type of content you enjoy seeing from me. And as always, if you're not already subscribed, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you here in my weird little family on the internet, and I hope to see you next time. Bye guys.